All right, so we had an interesting revelation happen last night. I was at church, and pastor was talking about the verse, I'll set no wicked thing before my eye. And the actual translation for the word wicked is more like unprofitable, something that is useless or unhelpful. It doesn't help you accomplish anything. And the idea of saying, well, this thing is wicked, this thing is evil, in an English context, is very different from saying, this thing doesn't help me accomplish anything. This thing doesn't help me accomplish my goal. This thing is a waste of time and a waste of effort and just a waste, just in general. And when I thought about it in that context, suddenly the YouTube fast makes sense. Are you getting it? The reason, and I had to go back and rewatch my videos on it, because it lined up so perfectly that I was like, is that right? Am I remembering this correctly? And I am. I went through it, and it's I forget what words I used, but I did re-listen to it last night, and it was just like a useless thing. It was like, I'm gonna veg out. I'm gonna do something that makes my brain disengage. I'm gonna do something that, like, I'm kind of interested but not really. And my concern was that instead of doing the YouTube, instead of just listening to something to have something in my ear that wasn't actually useful, or didn't have an object, didn't have a goal associated with it, that I was like looking at computer parts instead. And I was like, oh, I'm just replacing this with looking at computer parts. But it didn't work. It didn't have the same effect, because looking at computer parts is not useless. It has a goal, it has an object. There is a reason I am doing it. And in that, if you look at it in that context, the idea that the thing that wears down your soul, the thing that makes you more likely to sin, the thing that makes you more susceptible to sinful ideas, having a bad time, feeling bad, is just being useless and doing useless things. Like wasting your time. Wasting your time is bad, and that is it makes it obvious to you that it hurts your ability to do the things that you want, actively damaging yourself. And putting that in, you can view it as in the context of indulging in whatever sinful nature you're trying to avoid, but it parallels with just like weakness. You're like, oh, I'm feeling really bad, or negative feelings, negative emotions. You're like, oh, it's a really long day, I feel really bad about whatever, I feel depressed today, I'm just gonna, and that's X, whatever that thing is. Binge watch Netflix, watch useless videos on YouTube. We do these things because we think, well, this is going to be, it's like comfort food. It's like, well, this is going to be comfortable to me. This is going to be not too challenging. And this is going to be something that I'm going to be able to do without much trouble. And it's not going to be challenging to me. So this will just be, I'm going to veg out. And I don't know, it all seems so obvious now, but unsurprisingly, this makes you feel bad. This makes you feel worse. So it's like it's almost like the pity party idea. It's like, oh, I'm having such a bad day, I'm going to talk about my bad day and think about my bad day and reflect on my bad day. I might even write a journal entry about my bad day. Like, no, kick yourself in the butt, go do something different, go do something useful. And that's, there's basically anything that you do that isn't directly useless is going to be an improvement off of whatever that was. So the idea that the useless YouTube watching, or the useless activities just in general, just weaken you, just wear down your psyche, you're telling yourself that you're useless by doing useless things. So I think I'm trying to think about it in that context, and what is useful, what can be accomplished, and what is a good thing to do, and think about whatever it is from the perspective of usefulness, usability. I don't know. So I'll be replacing useless with wicked. Just see how that works out. So that was a cool thing. The coffee drinking, I should say, that has been, I've kind of been doing that in tandem with the YouTube adjustments. And part of the coffee drinking was basically just drinking a lot. Drinking like half what I normally drink in the first morning, like in the first couple hours of the day. And so far that's been working out pretty well. It doesn't have the same impact every single time, but it is still it is still a net positive. I remember like 4 days ago or something like that, I was doing the coffee thing, and my phone chirped, and it was like, "Hey, you gotta check that email from that guy." And I saw the thing, I saw the notification. Obviously, I set the notification, and I went, "Oh, I need to do that." And then I opened up my email and started doing it, and then immediately was like, "Whoa, how did I just do that? How is this possible?" I saw the thing, I needed to do the thing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that thing," and then I just did it. And that is completely abnormal. Absolutely abnormal. Hang on. Okay, never mind. Pretend to sneeze. Yeah, just completely abnormal. And like, it sticks out in my memory because it was so, I guess, so normal. Like, I talked about this, like, normal is abnormal, and normal is like, I need to do the thing. Here's my reminder to do the thing. Now is the time to do the thing. Oh, I'll just do it. I'd better do that thing. And it's just very abnormal. So, trying to drink more coffee. The solution is always double the coffee intake, yes. And I get by with very low stimulants, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this. I don't really like being someone who drinks a lot of coffee, but I'm just trying to think of the health benefits. That's all. I'm just trying to be a healthy person. Oh, the heat is on. Well, that'll do it. Just trying to be a healthy person, So, it's been good. I'm trying to drink more coffee, and I'm trying to mess around with that, and knowing that I can mess around with that while also doing YouTube cautiously, or doing YouTube from this perspective of things that have a purpose, things that serve a purpose. It's I don't know, it's so cliche, but maybe it's the same thing as me just like seeing, oh, it's time to do the thing, I'm gonna do the thing now. Maybe normal people don't have a problem with this, but it's like, hey, when you do useless stuff, you feel useless. Surprise. When you do useful stuff, you feel useful. Surprise. When you set goals and accomplish them, it feels good, man. It's difficult for me, but the idea that I'm going to do good things for me, I'm going to feed myself good things. It's the two wolves. There are two wolves inside of you. One wants to do useless things and makes you feel useless, and one wants to do cool, awesome stuff. And it's just like, it's like a mood thing. It's like going to the gym. At no point do you go to the gym and then after the gym you're like, wow, I really wish I didn't do that. Man, if I could go back in time, I would say, hey, don't do that. Don't go to the gym. Don't work out. It's always it always feels good afterwards, having the perspective. And it's not about the perspective, it's about your feeling in the moment. It's like, oh, I feel listless, I feel worn down, I feel depressed, I feel, I don't feel energetic, like I don't feel like I'm ready to take on the day. And because I don't feel like those things, or because I feel that way, I'm going to do things that help me continue to feel that way. I'm going to do these same things that just feed into all this. Feel depressed and eat a whole chocolate cake, and now your stomach is full of chocolate cake, and you get a sugar rush and a sugar crash, and now you feel worse. And it's like, how did this happen? In the moment, obviously, you can't. It's hard to make the decision in the moment. I guess you just have to keep the perspective of, hey, this is going to be good in about an hour. In about an hour, I'm going to feel fantastic. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to feel like I can get this sneeze out this time for reals. Achoo. There we go. Got it. Excuse me. That was rude. Such a loud sneeze. So there are varying degrees of uselessness, I guess, and it might just be entirely by your perspective. Obviously, I don't know if that actually applies, but I'm sure going to test and find out. What are for some values of useless. Some values of useless. So you can ask yourself, what is useless? And it's probably, your goals, your objectives, your desires, your core beliefs. If this is something that serves it, then And if it's something that, I'm just novelty seeking, I'm just kind of filling time, I'm kind of recovering. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good parallel. Exercise makes you feel good. Yeah, but I feel bad, so I don't want to exercise. No, you don't understand. Exercise makes you feel good. Right. But I don't want to exercise because I feel bad. No, you're still not getting it. Why are we like this? It's deep societal, psychological damage. I do believe that these feedback systems, especially like social media, the instant distraction feedback systems. What was it? Digital minimalism. That second half of that book talks about the whole, the idea that this scrolling process. The scrolling process is just it's empty calories. And you feel like your stomach feels full, but you don't have any nourishment. You didn't get any nutrients. You ate a bunch of you ate a bunch of pork rinds. A lot of volume, no mass. And then you just feel hungrier afterwards. You're sitting there like, oh, I'm social media-ing. I'm doing something useful, and I've talked about that before. It's probably like 5% useful and 95% useless. But it's also like, it's easy to justify some of this stuff. And if you don't really have control over it, I say control over it. There's like literally billions of dollars being spent to keep you scrolling. Like there's psychoanalysts and addiction specialists that are actively being paid to discover new and exciting ways to make you keep scrolling. So, like, I don't want to make you out to be a victim, because you can kind of, you can make the decision, But you gotta recognize that what you're doing is a dangerous game. It's like saying, well, I want to talk to grandma, so I'm going to get on my Facebook feed, and then it's like, it's dangerous. There's other ways to talk to grandma, okay? Call her up. The voice communication is way better. FaceTime her. That's even better than voice communication. It's like, I need to clean my ears, and I have this Q-tip attached to a gun, and I'm just gonna clean my ears with this Q-tip. I'm just cleaning my ears with this Q-tip attached to a gun. I'm not gonna touch the trigger, obviously. Like, that would be silly. That would be dangerous. I'm not gonna touch the trigger. I'm just gonna point the gun directly at my head and put the Q-tip into my ear and not touch the trigger. It's like, I want to do tightrope walking. Like, okay, well, you can set up a slack line between two trees, like 3 feet off the ground. Like, no, between two 12-story buildings is where I will learn. That is where I will practice. Bro, why? Don't. And breaking down those paradigms of the social media interaction, because it's all designed to get you to keep on clicking, keep on scrolling. And like it's what it does. It's exactly what it's designed for. You're putting that gun to your head and like, no, I'm just cleaning my ears. I'm just cleaning my ears. I'm just gonna message grandma real quick. I just want to see how her surgery went. And 45 minutes later, like, oh wow, oh no, I was scrolling. Oh no, mindlessly scrolling. It is a strange thing. But think about it. Think about it as an attack. Think about it as someone taking advantage of you. Because this is it's like a learned helplessness. You've created habits of, I feel bad, therefore I shouldn't go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. I feel bad, therefore I will scroll on social media, even though scrolling on social media measurably makes people less happy. Like, this is a very obvious confusion of ideas, and as long as you are aware of it, and as long as you can think about it beforehand, step out of yourself and say, hey, this is a bad idea, and you're like, no, you don't get it. I don't want to go to the gym because I feel bad. This is a solution to the problem. I am hungry. I wish to eat. I am hungry. I will write a journal entry about how sad and hungry I am. And then I'll eat it.